Hello, hello.
Okay. Hello, Marcus. Thanks. Thanks for your time.
No worry.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Let's get right to it. Okay.
Yeah, let's
So
get into it.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about your visit with Cemetery Skyline to Chile, because it's a quite new project. The first album was released last year, and it has been like pretty popular on the past year. So how do you feel coming with this new band to South America and Chile especially?
I love it because we are doing things now completely different with Cemetery Skyline than we are doing with my another bands. I was first time ever in Chile with Insomnium like last December, and it was amazing. Everything was top notch. And then now with Cemetery Skyline, we actually kind of like were thinking at first like, are we doing any live shows because all the guys are so busy with other bands we have, and then we accidentally played one festival show and it went so well last year in Finland, so we decided to give it a go. And now we have a full festival summer booked here in Finland and Europe, and even Prog Power Festival in USA. And then after Prog Power Festival, we accidentally had some free space in the calendar, like pretty much the whole September. And then we just had a thought, like it would be really cool to have our first actual tour in Latin America, and that's now what's happening. So this is completely different because usually it's whatever Germany or they always get all the metal shows and or USA, and now we just show middle fingers to Germany and USA and come to Latin America. So hopefully you will enjoy it as much as we will.
Hopefully, yeah. So what can the Chilean fans expect from this concert, from this show?
Well, it will be, if you expect, it will be like there's a guys from Dimmu Borgir, Amorphis, Dark Tranquility, Halo Effect, Insomnium, Omnium Gatherum, Sentence. Just forget everything about these bands because Cemetery Skyline is nothing like these bands. It's something completely different, and it's more like a rock, pop, gothic show. It's really dark. We have a good time, enjoy playing with these guys. First time ever for me playing in a band where there's only one guitar player, so it's full of this kind of specialities, which is really fresh for everyone else. And Michael's never sung before like a whole gig of clean vocals before we had the first Cemetery Skyline album, so it's still really anxious and enthusiastic and special for us. And so
So you mentioned that this is completely different to the other projects the member of the band has. What do you think is like a common point? Where you think it's like a mix of everyone's influences, or how did it work when you were working on the album and working on the music?
well, at first place we just decided like we all love Sisters of Mercy and Typo Negative. Let's do that kind of music. And let's worship the 90s. That was our first thought, and then things started to escalate, and we ended up sounding not at all to Typo Negative. Well, there's the one song which is actually like a tribute, but I don't think we sound like Typo Negative, unfortunately. So again, this whole band became like a sum of its part, and there's also a big part of this Finnish and Swedish kind of Nordic melancholy in the melodies and stuff, which we even tried to avoid, but we cannot avoid because it's in our blood. So in that sense, it's some of its part. I don't think it sounds like I'm Insomnium or Amorphis at all. Even the songwriters are from those bands. But
And in that sense, how did the band came to be? What's like a little bit of the story behind this project? Because of course you play in different bands. How did it all happen? So you ended up playing together.
this is a band of brothers. I like that word more than a label is calling Supergrupo or media is calling Supergroup. But this first idea of this band became in 7,000 tons of metal in a karaoke bar, drunk, like always, so many bands are formed in the bar, but so little amount of those bands will have an album out, and we are actually a living proof that sometimes it does happen. It just needed a worldwide pandemic in between, so all the touring got closed, and then we had all the time in the world to write these music songs. And then I just immediately, when the pandemic hit, I thought like, that was a good idea that we had on the bar in the 70K. And then I started writing these tunes, and then I started to contact my friends down the road. And Santeri from Amorphis was the first one. I sent a few of my demos that, what do you think? We've been discussing years and years that we should have doing something together, and here's your chance. And he was immediately in. And then we started to think about the vocalist, and then after many thinking sessions, I just unfortunately, I accidentally listened Dark Tranquillity's Moment, and then I had like a master plan, like, Michael, of course. Michael has a great, unique, warm, gothic, clean voice, but he doesn't use that too often in Dark Tranquillity. So that was natural. And Michael was immediately in when he heard some of the first demos. And then came Victor from Dimmu Borgir on bass and Vesa from Sentence to drums in the end. And then we had like a whole lineup in full.
Well, that's how bands start in the end, right?
Yeah. And everyone was like friends from beforehand down the road. So
okay,
that's why it's a band of brothers. And it's still like a really cool and weird for me. Like last weekend we played festivals in Finland and Switzerland, and just watching like there's Michael Stanne and Santeri and all my friends on the same stage with us. Like, what is happening here? Like, we used to be just friends, and now we're in the same stage. But it feels good. It's been really natural.
I can imagine, yeah.
We are not thinking like we are a super group, like we are gathering like all these bands together, because that just happens because we know so much people and they are in the bands. So natural route.
So this this project has, you said it, a more gothic sound, a little bit more lethargic. You said at some point, maybe.
Metallic or
lethargic, like a more gothic, more dark, maybe.
Yeah. More rock and
yeah. How do you feel this kind of sound gets more to people, or do you feel it's like a different reaction to people listening to your other projects, maybe?
Yeah, it seems Michael had a really good concept that he did for this Nordic Gothic about Nordic loneliness and people dying alone in their homes, and really dark and miserable like it should be. But at the same time, there's some nice stories of hope and weird dark relationships and whatnot. But in the shows we've been doing so far, I've been seeing there's a lot more girls than in Somnium and Omnium Gatherum shows, and these girls are dancing, singing these songs. So it's definitely something different than my another bands. And of course, the music style is completely different, so I understand it. And I would see this more like a dark rock show than metal show, because we are also trying to act a bit different. There is no moshing and there is no running on stage or anything like this heavy metal stuff. So maybe, but it's all natural. Like, we haven't been discussing how we should act or how we should do on stage. It's just this is how it became out in a natural way. And I think that's the only way to do something than just like be a poser and decide like, no, I'm going to be a gothic guy, and then see some instructional videos how to be a gothic guy. I guess people would see through it, but this is CEMETERY SKYLINE. This is CEMETERY SKYLINE, and with what it became. In all honesty.
That's awesome. I mean, if it's natural, then that's the idea. That feels natural.
Yeah.
So to close a little a little bit this interview. For someone who hasn't listened to Cemetery Skyline yet, where should they start with? Maybe what song? Because you only have one album yet. What should they listen to to say, okay, this is Cemetery Skyline?
Well, Violent Storm song, that was the first song we ever released, and we decided to release it because it kind of like introduced the band easiest way. So I guess that should be my pick also. Again, on if you have to listen to one song, that would be it. It's quite a hit song, but it's still having the soul of Cemetery Skyline. We do have longer songs and more different kind of songs, but I think that represents quite well. And the video we did for Violent Storm, that's a cool story because we all were friends before this band, like I said, but the video which happens in a cemetery where people are going together, meeting in a cemetery, that's actually the first time this band ever was 5 persons at the same time at the same place.
Oh.
How gothic is that in a cemetery? And in a music video shoot, so Patrick Ullaus got that all on film, so I think that's really cool testimony when we met as a group.
Yeah, that's
because
really cool.
When we did the album in the studio, we never were present like all the guys at the same time, and still like before music video, we were in Gothenburg's famous 2112 bar, but Victor was not there, so it was
okay.
We were still missing one guy at the same time.
There was one guy missing, yeah.
Yeah. So that makes a good story, and it's not a marketing line because that's what happened.
Yeah. Again, it's natural. It's just what happens. Yeah.
It's been to like some dark magics with this band, so like how easily things have happened, and so many things have just fall into its place, like doing nothing. So I guess we are not born under the bad sign then.
Yeah.
born under the right mood.
Yeah. So what is your inspiration to keep making music? Because I feel every musician has his own goals, his own inspirations and reasons to keep making music. What is yours?
There's not like any magic recipe or not just one rule to do that, because sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it's really difficult. Mostly it's difficult, and it should be difficult, because if art should be difficult and not to be born too easily, otherwise you will get some disposable art which nobody cares. It have to be hard for you, and you have to feel it. But that's maybe the feeling is most important for me also. It can come through other music or just like walk outside in the usually night or evening, because that's the best mood. And then the night is, even it's a cliche, night is just the best time to write music, because it's calm and your phone is not ringing and nobody is after you, so you can just be with your weird thoughts and falling it on place. So that's probably my inspiration, and then when you've got some good riff in its place and the song is starting to shape up, then I can maybe picturize playing this for a festival stage or people, and then things start to evolve. But it always have to like please myself the most, like not to do the kind of easy music that I'm quite a hard judge for myself, and mostly I throw a lot of music to trash can. So music is a selfish thing. You have to please yourself before you can please others. Yeah.
So again, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure. To close, any like short words for the people here in Chile that are going to your concert?
Hopefully see you all in the concert, and let's have a pisco disco, piscola.
Awesome. Then, well, thank you very much, and see you in September.
We will. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.